What's up, John Simons here. So, I got a question about productivity, and I'm going to be talking about productivity when you just start your career in this video. I got a comment on one of the live streams I did on what do you want to learn on this channel in Q&A. I need to come up with some more creative live stream titles. They're not very great. Anyway, I got this question from Manuela, and she says, please, John, could you record a video about productivity when you do not have much experience in what you're doing, like how to be more productive when you're just starting your career? Cheers. We could talk about productivity a lot, and there's a lot of productivity hacks out there, but one of the big ones that I would give you is, especially when you're starting out, is to know what you're going to do and to plan things out ahead of time. When you're first starting out in your career, when you don't have a lot of experience, this is going to be hypercritical, because what you don't want to be doing is just wandering around aimlessly. And I know I've coached a lot of software developers in learning to become a software developer. I've coached a lot of people in fitness, right? I've coached a lot of people in a lot of different areas. And one of the things that, especially software developers that I'd coached in the past, they would just be like trying to grab stuff to learn. Okay, and they would just be kind of like saying,
I'm not getting it. I've been trying to become a software developer for like 3 years. What's going on?
And my answer has always been like, well, what was your actual plan? Like you were just like reading books and just like learning some stuff here or taking some tutorials or watching some videos. That's not going to cut it. Like, you need to have an actual game plan so that you can figure out what you're going to do. And that's also going to make you very productive. When you're in learning mode, you still need to be productive. It's just a different kind of product, right? It's not a finished product. It's it's an internal product. It's a self-development and growth product. Sometimes the results are not visible until they surface, and that's when you're in this growth and learning phase. So the best thing that you can possibly do, okay, at this point is figure out a roadmap of what you're going to do and how you're going to spend your time. I use a Kanban board, and I basically go at the beginning of the week, when I'm in productive mode, and I'll go and I'll figure out exactly what I'm going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Now, some of that changes, but I have it at least planned out, and I know always what my next task is going to be. When I start the day, any day of the week, I'm planning out that day, and I know exactly what I'm going to work on next, okay? And it's sequential, and I spend that time, right? Maybe it takes me 10, 15 extra minutes, but that time is critical because it makes me productive, right? When I was writing my books, I've got 2 books here, The Complete Software Developer's Career Guide and Soft Skills. These are big ass books, okay? When I was writing these books, the reason why I was able to produce them so quickly, in fact, I think I wrote Soft Skills in basically like 2.5 months, and The Complete Software Developer's Career Guide in 6 months, but it's an 800-page book, and I only worked on it an hour a day. But the reason why I was able to progress so quickly through those was because I always knew what the next task was. I knew what the next chapter was. I knew what I was going to write about. I never had to sit down and try to think. You got to take the hit of the overhead, okay, the productivity hit earlier to plan things out rather than in between. Otherwise, you don't know where you're going, right? You plant the flag. You say, okay, this is where I'm going. Okay, this is how I'm going to get there. So let's say, in this instance, to take it to a more practical level, if you're starting your career, if you don't have very much experience, figure out what is the level that you want to get, right? What do you want to be able to do, right? I always talk about this idea that I need to learn X so I can do Y. If you don't have a Y, you don't have an X. There's no need to learn anything or to do anything unless you have an end result in mind, right? What's the purpose, okay? Everything that you do in life, in fact, should have a purpose. Why are you doing this? So why am I recording this YouTube video right now, right? Because I want to grow my YouTube subscribers. Why do I want to do that? Because I want to reach more people, and this is something that it makes me feel good to reach as many people and help them as possible. Why else? Well, because I want to be able to build a business and make money from this, and that will allow me to have a larger reach, right? So I have a why for this, and that why, goes down to this line item. Now, some of those things can be revised over time, but you at least have to have that goal. So you're starting off your career. You don't have experience. What do you want to do? What do you want to be able to accomplish? Okay? You want to be able to become more productive? Well, become productive at becoming productive first. Okay? And the way you're going to do that is to learn, to get experience, to increase your skill levels. So figure out a learning plan, figure out a path that you can do, figure out something that you can do over and over again to increase those skills. So let me give you an instance, an example here. Let's say that I am a salesperson, just starting a sales job. I don't have much experience. How can I be as productive as possible? Well, I'm going to come up with a plan that's going to have a couple of different angles at it, right? one of the things that I'm going to plan out is I'm going to plan these sales books that I'm going to read. I'm going to go check out Grant Cardone's stuff, okay? I'm going to read Sell or Be Sold and some of his popular books. I'm going to look at Zig Ziglar's stuff, right? I'm going to look up and I'm going to find all of the good sales books, and I'm going to go through those books, and I'm going to prioritize the order, and maybe I'll pick out some video training, and that's going to be part of my approach. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do deliberate practice and put it into practice. So at my job, I'm going to have a plan. I'm going to call, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to talk to these prospects. I'm going to work hard at doing that and taking notes after every call so that I have something to go on. And then maybe I'm going to do something extra. Maybe I'm going to say, okay, I'm also going to grab a part-time job and I'm going to like do MLM sales. I'm going to do them door to door just to get even more experience, right? So that I'll be super productive, right? And if you did all three of those things, do you think that you'd advance as a salesperson very quickly, right? Whereas most people who start a new sales job, they're going to their boss and they're like, tell me what to do. Okay, what do I need to do? And they're doing the minimum to get by, and they're not going to be successful, or it's going to take them a long time to be productive, right? You have to be proactive, decide what the plan is, okay, and then schedule that out. Figure out exactly what you're going to do. Put it on your calendar. Say, from this time to this time, I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be reading these books. I'm going to be, working on actually doing cold calls. I'm going to actually go out and I'm going to like talk to people on the street. Whatever it is, whatever you think is a good plan that's going to develop those skills, right? And you're always revising that plan. And here's one key thing just to remember, right? You're always either moving forward or back, okay? So what can you do every day that moves you forward? And that cumulative effect will eventually get you to that end goal. So I know it can be frustrating when you're first starting a job, you're first starting your career, you don't have much experience, you don't know exactly what to do. But you can always, if you sit down and you plan it and you figure out what makes sense, it doesn't have to be a perfect answer. You're not going to know, but you're going to try things, right? And you're going to actually have a plan, and you're going to execute that plan to completion rather than, going here, like a chicken with its head cut off, and you're never going to actually find your groove and be productive. All right, that's all I got for you today. If you have a question for me, I now have an email address that you can email me at. It's john@bulldogmindset.com. I answer some of the emails. There'll be videos if I do them, but you can check it out there. All right, click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Click the bell so you don't miss any videos. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.